Well, folks, I worked on this the other day, 2 or 3 days ago, and I found a problem. The kill switch up here is shorted to ground all the time, which of course won't let it run. Then I put my dial gauge in the center here, and I set it up as close as I could to 3.2 millimeters before top dead center. And I resoldered the connections to the stator down here because there was one of them that looked like a cold solder joint. And what else did I do to it? I measured and measured, and everything kept changing on me. And I never could get spark out of it. Well, today I came in with a little different attitude. That always helps. And I took a look at it. I took the coil out because that was the only thing I hadn't replaced. Basically, it's got new points, new condenser, new source coil. And I checked the wires 3 or 4 times individually. So I took the coil out and I ran up to my stash, and I found a couple other coils up there, but they weren't marked, but they looked the same. So I thought, well, I'll just bring them back and we'll check. So I put my meter on the main lead in from the stator to the coil, and it was measuring short to ground. That's with it disconnected, so there shouldn't have been any way it was shorted to ground. So I was expecting 1.5, maybe 2 ohms on the primary. I didn't look in the book. I'm sure it's in there. But I took the coil out and was measuring the other ones, and I decided, well, let me measure that one while it's not in the bike. And I measured it, and now it measures 1.2 ohms on the primary. So I have no idea where the short was coming from. I looked at it real close here where it's connected to the coil. I couldn't see anything. But anyway, I kicked it over a few times after we got that figured out, and it still didn't have any spark. So I thought, well, let me measure the secondary down to the spark plug. And guess what? It was open. And it should measure more than the primary, but it shouldn't be open. So I looked at the cable, and I thought, you know, it's the connector on the end of it here, that should have some resistance, probably, if it's a resistor type. And so I measured through the other one that I brought up here, and it was measuring about 6 k ohms all the way through. And I measured this one again. It was still measuring infinite, open circuit. So I took that cap off and measured through the cap itself. And that's where the open circuit is. Not to mention the fact that inside there, the particular cap that was on there was looking for a spark plug with a little thing screwed onto the top of it. And my spark plugs don't have the little thing screwed onto the top of them. They probably did when they came new, but not now. So what we're going to do, I found another cap, and now we're measuring the proper secondary resistance. And we're going to take that out, take the plug out. We're going to put a little gas down in there, if we can find some. And I got a hunch this thing may start. I don't have the muffler on it, so it's going to be pretty loud. So plug your ears. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it was good. Let's see if there's any in here. Is there? Oh, there's just enough, I think. Well, maybe not. I don't think anything's coming out of it. Let's see what else we got up here. I used to have a jug of that Ready Mix 40 stuff. Yeah, I do. So let me fill up my little squirt can here. How's the weather where you guys are? Boy, it's been great today, 60 degrees. Trouble is I had some things to do other than work on bikes. I just bought a parts bike, a YDS 3C. It's got a couple of the things I need. One of them is the right side of the transmission case has got a big hole in it. One of those things where the chain broke, and took out one of the standoffs that you screw the cover on with. Only this time it took off not only the standoff, but a big chunk out of the side of the case. Well, I tried to fix it up, but I wasn't very lucky doing that. So I needed a new case. Oh, we got all kinds of gas in there now. Now all I got to do is get the plug back in. Well, there we go. She's going in. So keep your fingers crossed, folks. I'm just going to do that finger tight down there. We'll see if it blows up on me. Turn the key on. Well, you dumbass, if you put the spark plug wire back on the spark plug, it'd probably work better. I know. Cognitive decline, I think. Well, maybe it won't. I wonder if I got too much gas in there and flooded it. Alright, I'll bring it back. Let me see. Come on, old girl. I don't have a lot of kicks left in me. I don't have any gas in the carb, so. Well, guys, I'm going to go in and see if I can find me another coil. I think that's all for today. Yay! It runs finally. Third kick. I just filled up the float bowl. Definitely needs the muffler put back on. Well, you're looking at a happy old man. Still needs a little carburetor tuning. Needs to get the muffler put back on. We'll run it a while and then we'll recheck the timing. The bad part about the timing on this is the only way I can get my dial gauge in there is by taking the exhaust off, and I hate that job. But it's running, you heard it. And we'll go ahead and get her put back together, and next thing you see will be me riding it around the yard here. Assuming it doesn't do like it did yesterday and start on the first kick and then die and not start again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great day. I got that sucker running finally. I still got to put some parts back on it, and once I get all that done, and well, I don't know. Hopefully I'll be out taking a ride on it. It's licensed and insured and ready to go. So the next time you see me, I'll hopefully be out for a ride.